Meanwhile, if all right, so because the hole in the spaceship, there's a lot of trash just came through, and it's rough. All right, this gives me a perfect time to talk about Yang Kyoungjong, born March 3rd, 1920, in North Korea, at that time part of the Japanese Empire. All right. At the age of 18, he was conscripted into the Japanese Army in 1938. I would go more in depth on his childhood and stuff, but we don't know much about that. All right. He was then sent to fight in the border conflict known as the Battle of Kyoungjong against the Soviet Union. All right. But during this battle, he was captured by the Soviets. He was then sent to a gulag, basically a work camp. All right. But in 1942, the Soviets used him as a soldier now because of the recent German invasion that was, going quite well for the Germans, and they needed some more guys to fight against them. All right. So yeah, he was sent to the Soviet army. But then, during the Third Battle of Kharkov in Ukraine in 1943, the Germans captured him. He was then sent all the way over to France at Utah Beach. But then D-Day happened in 1944, and paratroopers captured him in June 1944. All right. He was then sent to a camp, basically a prison camp in Britain. At the time, people thought he was just, Japanese, because that would make more sense than him being a Korean. Yeah. And then he was sent to a camp in the U.S. For prisoners. But then in 1947, he was freed, and he began to live in Illinois. And then he died in 1992. In the 90s, people picked up his story, and, it was, a theory at the time, but, people caught on to it and began believing it. Some people did believe he was Georgian, though. And then in 2012, South Korean film My Way came out, which was inspired by these events. Hey guys, that was a fun story, right? Okay, basically, through that hole in the spaceship, the space dog came in. I wonder what he's going to be doing around here. Space dog, what are you doing? What are you doing with that piece of trash? Space dog, what are you doing? Space dog! That can only go well. Mr. Bull, I don't feel so good.